Good afternoon, everyone. I am Charibi in Pagapulaan, and we will be tackled about Chapter 5 Curriculum Development Reforms and Enhancement. And also, we will be tackled Module 6 Gearing Up for the Future Curriculum Reforms. So, in this module, it brings you to some curricular developments, reforms, and enhancement as the Philippine education braces itself with the Asian and the rest of the world, there is need to embark on enhancement and reforms in the curriculum. And also as a curriculum knower, designer, implementer, and evaluator, substantial knowledge of some of these reforms is necessary. As you can see, curriculum, future, and reform. We know that curriculum is a dynamic process and it keeps changing over the years. So it means that there's a possibility that our curriculum now may change over the years to make it better for the learners. So in lesson 6.1, reforms for basic education curriculum. The desired learning outcome is to gain comprehensive understanding of the K-12 basic education curriculum reforms. Curriculum designers need to enhance the curriculum and propose curricular innovation to to the changing educational landscape in the country as well as in other parts of the globe. So it is most necessary that as a future curricularist and a teacher, you should be familiar with what is happening and what will happen in our curriculum. There is no substitute for being ready and informed. So, in this module, you will have a comprehensive knowledge on curriculum reforms initiated in the Philippines and abroad to improve the quality of teaching and learning. So, this is where our topic today focus. The content focus, curriculum designers need to enhance the recommendation of curriculum and propose curricular innovation to respond to the changing landscape in education regionally and globally. So, are you aware of some curricular reforms in the Philippines and other countries? In Republic Act 10533, known as Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, the latest education reform in the Philippine education, popularly known as K-12, signed into law by our President Benigno Aquino III last May 5, 2013. It is an enhancement in the Philippines basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years of basic education appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. The Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, popularly known as K-12, includes 1 year of kindergarten education, 6 years in elementary education, and 6 years of secondary education, which is includes the 4 years of junior high school and 2 years of senior high school. So, why K to 12? K to 12 makes the Philippine education system at par with international standard of 12-year basic education, thereby contributing to the better educated society capable of pursuing productive employment, entrepreneurship, and a higher education studies. After going through kindergarten, elementary, junior high, and a specialized senior high school program, every K-12 graduate is ready to go in different paths on higher education, middle level skills development, employment, or entrepreneurship. And also, K to 12 graduates are expected to be equipped with 21st century skills like information media, technology skills, learning and innovation skills, effective communication skills, and life and career skills. So when K to 12 was launched in 2012, many Filipinos were apprehensive and some said Additional 2 years are added burden for the average Filipino family. K to 12 program is still doomed to fail. So we cannot deny that when K to 12 was approved or was implemented, I there was many critics or criticism and or many people contradict on this kind of program because many of us are not expected this kind of program. So now we go to the basis of K to 12 implementation. So what could be the reason why we implement the K to 12? Number one, mastery of basic competency is insufficient due to congested curriculum. So when we say congested curriculum, it is it is um it is too many subjects are squeezed in a short period of time. Now, we go to the National Achievement Test of fourth-year student in mathematics. In 2005 to 2006, mathematics results only 15% of the student acquired mastery of the mathematics competency, while the majority is 59.9% of the high school student belong to the low mastery level. And in National Achievement Test result of fourth-year student in science, the achievement test result in science was even more discouraging since only 3% of the fourth-year high school student in 2005 to 2006 mastered the science process level. We can tell that the average is going down. If this continues to happen and cannot be avoided, many of us cannot proceed or many of the students cannot proceed or be or being unemployed. So, what could be the consequence? The Philippines performed poorly as revealed in 2003 TIMMS or Trends in International Mathematics and Science scores. In grade 4 Science and Math, the Philippines ranked 23 out of 25 participating countries. In high school 2 Science, the Philippines ranked 43 out of 46 and in Math ranked 34 out of 38. The factors that contribute to the low performance achievement test is the congested basic curriculum. What other countries teach in 12 years, in the Philippines teach only for 10 years. Then the 10 years would not be enough to master the competencies. Adding 2 years would make possible that this congestion of the curriculum for comprehensive acquisition of basic competencies in 21st century skills. So, number two of the basis of K to 12 implementation. The Philippines is the only remaining country in Asia with a 10-year basic education program. The short duration of the basic education program also puts millions of overseas Filipino workers, especially the professionals and those who intend to go to study abroad at a disadvantage. Graduates of Philippines are not automatically recognized as professional outside the country due to the lack of 2 years in basic education. So according to Bologna, imposed 12 years of education for university admission and practice of procession in European countries. In Washington, according also to Washington, prescribed 12 years of basic education as an entry recognition of engineering professionals. So with K to 12 Filipino professional will have the same competitive edge and professional of the country having gone through 12 years basic education. By the way, the recommendation to improve the lighten the short basic education in the Philippines has been given since in 1995 as one of the most well-studied reforms recommendation of either adding or restoring seventh grade or adding an extra year to basic education have been put forward. As you can see in the table, there are many recommendations. Monroe Survey, UNESCO Survey Mission, Swanson Survey, Educational Act, and Swanson Survey. According to Monroe, training of graduate students in agriculture, commerce, and industry because secondary education did not prepare students for life. So according to UNESCO survey, restoration of grade 7 in primary education. According to the Survey of Educational Act, revising the primary school system and adding 1 year in grade 7. In Swanson, restoring grade 7 in primary education. And in 1970, PCSPE extended secondary education by 1 year to better prepare the students who have no plans to take up university education. In 1991, EDCOM report retaining a 10-year basic education pace while institutionalizing career and counseling in primary and secondary school in preparation for higher education. In 1998, in Philippine education sector study, prioritizing student learning through curricular reforms and provision of textbook, the vernacular in lower primary grades, the institution of a longest education cycle. In 2000, according to PCER, implementing compulsory 1 year pre-baccalaureate stage as prerequisite for students interested in enrolling in higher education degree programs. In 2006, Philippine IPA 2015 National Action Plan, lightening the educational cycle by adding 2 years to formal basic education, one of each primary and high school. In 2008, Presidential Task Force on Education extended pre-university education to a total of 12 years, benchmarking the content of 11th and 12 years with international program. One frequently asked question raised during the advocacy period for the K-12 curriculum was this: Filipino student can do in 10 years what students in foreign countries do in 12 years. A number of our Filipino graduates who went through 10 years of basic education excel in studies as well as in their place of work abroad. So why add 2 years more? This may be true, but for as long as the international standard is 12 years of basic education, that will remain to be the standard and well applied to all, including brilliant and exceptional Filipino student graduates. Why additional master's subject? The reason is given in a short 10-year basic education in the Philippines. In other words, the Philippines has no choice but to comply with 12-year basic education. And in the first place, this had been a consistent recommendation of the past survey done on the Philippine education system. Employability in high school graduates. K-12 curriculum prepares the student for the world of work, middle level skills development, entrepreneurships, and college education. In grade 7 and in grade 8, subject in 4 areas of technology and livelihood education, which is the home economics, ICT, industrial arts, and agriculture and fishery arts. In grade 10 and grade 12, a student is supposed to have obtained a national certificate level 1 or national certificate level 2 from TESDA. NC1 and NC2 make grade 12 graduate employable. And the graduate of senior high is 18 years old who is legally employable. K-12 curriculum. Curricular standard, which is the curriculum developers adhered to in crafting the K-12 curriculum. Number 1, curriculum shall be learner-centered, inclusive, and developmental appropriate. Number 2, the curriculum shall be relevant, responsive, and research-based. Curriculum shall use pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based. Curriculum shall be culture-sensitive. The curriculum shall be contextualized and global. Number 6, the curriculum shall adhere to principle and framework of mother tongue-based multilingual education, or MTB and MLE. 7, the curriculum shall use the spiral progression approach to ensure mastery knowledge and skills after each level. And the last, Number 8, the curriculum shall be flexible enough to enable and allow school to localize, indigenize, and enhance the same base of their respective educational context. Curriculum tracks. Senior high can choose among four tracks: academic, technical, vocational, or design track. Core curriculum. Learning areas comprising the core curriculum. Then the curriculum tracks is academic tracks include four strands: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics; humanities, social science; accounting, business and management, or EBM, general academic, stand and gas. The college program, which is he and wants to enroll in, determines which strand to take: STEM, HUMSS, or ABM. If a senior high school student want to pursue textbook course in Technical Education Skills Development Authority, or TESDA, he or she takes the textbook track. He or she who is interested in arts and design will pursue the arts and design track. The sports track will be for any sports-minded senior high school student. So this is the tracks in senior high, the core subjects, and the academic track. For example, English for academic and professional purposes for the textbook track will center on the textbook terms, describing and reporting textbook-related procedures, while the sports tracks, the English subject, will focus on the language sports. Research may be presentation and defense of a paper in management for ABM track or in STEM, but may be culminating activity or exhibit for the arts and design track, and end of the term exhibit for the arts and design tracks. As you can see in the table, the academic track on the textbook, sports track, and design tracks. Thank you.